The wrong way to use healing magic, or Japanese name,
治癒魔法の町の使い方戦場をかける回復あやかシーン
is a manga about our trio of Usato, Kazuki, and Suzune as they find themselves being caught in a magic circle, being summoned to a different world, and one of our trio seems a bit too excited to be yoinked from Earth. Our trio now finds themselves in front of the king of Lingale. The king cuts to the chase and tells the three of them that they have been summoned like gacha characters. Upon hearing this news, Suzune fist pumps because fuck our friends and family, I guess. The king decides we could all use some unwanted exposition as Usato is watching as this image of Suzune is crumbling like the falcons with a lead, as Suzune seems way too excited about this. Now that the king's done with his irrelevant rambling, it turns out that Usato is not supposed to be here, as Kazuki and Suzune are actually the heroes. And after being fire-fested, the king informs Usato that the magic spell they use to summon them is a one-way trip, because apparently this magic works the same way as a Pringles can. Kazuki gets upset about this. The king then apologizes, saying he'll find a way to send Usato back. Now my question is, so you sons of bitches found a way to summon heroes from another world to yours, but no one was like, hey yo, how we gonna send these motherfuckers back to their world? For another wizard to be like, shit, that sounds like a problem for future us. Like, I mean, for fuck's sakes. Anyways, the king begs for them to lend them their power, and the three agree to help, especially Suzune. It's now time to drop them draws and see what abilities they got. Kazuki gets the light element, Suzune gets the lightning element, and Usato's lights up green, which makes the mage Wesley snatch Usato like a claw machine and take him to the king. The king's wondering what's the fuss about, as Wesley informs the king that Usato is a healing mage. This makes the king quite concerned, which in turn makes Usato quite concerned, as the king realizes that they can't let her find out, and they must take Usato into witness protection. But what's this? Is that the sound of imminent demise walking into the throne room? No, it's Rose. But for Usato, it might as well be demise, as Rose is the leader of the kingdom's rescue squad. The king then tries to save Usato, but oh, the ignorance is strong with Kazuki and Suzune, as Kazuki asks why did they run out of the room when the crystals turned green for Usato, like a shark smelling blood in the water. Rose immediately looks at Usato, and Usato immediately tries to look for God, but there is no God to save him, only Rose. Rose then knocks Usato out, then picks him up like a dog and says she'll be borrowing him, and she'll make him a fine healer. Rose then skedaddles out of there with Usato. Now conscious, Usato is at the rescue squad's HQ. Rose informs him that this will be his room when 5 completely trustworthy gentlemen pop up out of the Mario warp pipe and welcomes Big Sis Rose back. Rose then mentions to them that Usato will be under her care from now on and tells the lads to introduce themselves. They're Alec, Gomule, Gold, Tong, and Mill. Usato is looking terrified. Rose then hits them with the sweet chin music and tells them to not scare Usato. Rose tells Usato that his training starts tomorrow. She then informs Usato that he'll be staying with Tong. Usato, surprised by how normal the room is. Tong, preparing to sleep, informs Usato that it's a good thing he can heal himself because tomorrow is going to be hell. Usato asks Tong, could he tell him some more about healing magic? Tong explains that those who have healing magic only excel at healing magic. They have no other talent, and how until a while ago, healing mages were seen as marks, and that even now in other countries, they're treated as Jack Doherty. Even Tong thought they were useless. Usato asks, used to? Tong screams at Usato to shut up and go to sleep. Usato then lies down to go to sleep. It's now been 3 weeks since the Bearstein Bears have been yoinked to this new world. While having lunch with the princess after some training, Suzune and Kazuki decide to go check on Usato. They arrive at the rescue squad's HQ and no one's home. So Suzune decides that privacy is a one-way street and finds Usato's room and violates Usato's privacy by reading his diary. But here's the thing. Suzune thought that she would get Usato's thoughts on who he likes, favorite color, favorite food, hobbies. Nope. She instead gets a tale of a man who's gone through hell itself. Day 1. Oh, this hell that they speak of is going to be lightweight. If it's only going to be reading books and increasing my ability to feel mana. Day 2. Hell is real. Day 3. God is dead and the devil's alive and well. Day 4 and 5. I ran with the other inhabitants of hell. Day 6. I'm starting to get used to this hell. Plus now, I'm finally able to feel my mana. Day 7. Turns out, there's more than just one layer of hell. Day 8. What have I done to deserve such a fate? Day 9. Pain. I only feel pain. Day 10. I no longer feel like pain or exhaustion. Day 11. The devil gave me another trial. I cleared it. But when I did, the devil smiled. Day 12. From sunrise to sunset, hell is what I'm in. Day 13. The devil continues trying to break me. Day 14. One of the inhabitants, Tong, has consumed my food. An unforgivable sin. Aside from his sin, I've gotten used to hell. Wait, am I even still human? Then Kazuki and Suzune get yelled at by Seagrass, who informs them that Usito is at the training grounds. At said training grounds, we see Rose on top of a concrete block that's on top of Usito. Rose then asks, is he going to give up just because the weight's increased a bit? Usito then remarks, who's giving up? Rose tells him to stop putting on a brave face. Usito clicks his tongue. Suzune and Kazuki are perplexed at what in Davy Jones' locker they're looking at. Rose asks, did he just click his tongue? Usito responds, nope, just thought the weight difference wasn't much since she's so light. Rose retorts, that's so sweet of him, as she hops off the block and strolls to another concrete block and also places this one on his back, as it shouldn't be a problem for him, right? Usito may buckle, but mama ain't raised no bitch. Rose, like admiring a car being rebuilt, remarks he's coming along nicely. Seagrass grabs Rose's collar and says what she's doing can't be considered training, but torture. Rose tells Seagrass to let go and keep his night ideals to nights. As Rose slowly starts to crush Seagrass's armor, she explains that Usito will become her right-hand man in the future, and it'll be a problem if he's trash, as Usito is an amazing find, as he hates losing and never quits or surrenders. Plus, he's able to survive her hellish training, which gets her seal of approval. Seagrass begrudgingly lets go, calling her a damn lunatic. As they prepare to leave, Rose asks, didn't they want to speak with that thing? As Usito retorts, don't call him a thing. Rose says since they came all this way, might as well take a break and have lunch. After getting up, Usito is curious about the girl behind Kazuki. She then introduces herself as Sierra Bluegust Lingale. Yes, the Lingale King's daughter. After that panic attack of a revelation, Usito asks Kazuki and Suzune how their training's going. But they don't say, cause compared to his training, theirs is like a fucking coughing baby. But something piques Suzune's interest as she walks up to Usito and just pulls up his shirt. Now, I know they're in another world, but this is definitely sexual assault, right? Like it can't just be me bugging, right? No, like you can't just do this, can you? Can't you? Welcome to Suzune, who said fuck the laws as she gazes at holy shit, Batman, look at his goddamn physique. My god. Suzune starts monologuing about sports science and how because he can heal any muscle damage he suffers from excessive training, it allows for the body to be able to train continuously, as while his muscles are built for endurance, they're also able to produce superhuman strength. After saying all that, now she wants to touch Usito's muscles. Usito promptly, rightfully rejects the psychopath's proposition. Kazuki asks Usito, is his training always like this? Usito says that the training today was actually on the easy side, which blows Kazuki and Suzune's mind. Kazuki asks Usito a dumbass question. Is it tough? Usito then says how he wanted to run away at first, but then he realized mama ain't raised no bitch, and that recently he started to think the training's fun. As Suzune says how amazing Usito is, as he's already found a place he belongs. But Usito informs them that not really, he's just not trying to be dead weight to them. Kazuki says there's no way they would think that. Yeah, okay, shit sound good, Kazuki, don't it? Usito says don't get him wrong, that was just his pride talking, as he couldn't just sit idly by as they both fight the Demon King's army. Usito, I got some bad news for you, pal. I don't think Rose was ever gonna let you sit idly by. Suzune then acts cutesy as she says to make sure to come and save her when she's in trouble. This act does nothing for Usito, as he no longer sees Suzune as a normal girl, which he shouldn't see her as, by the way. When Suzune screams, just what does he see her as? Well, I can answer that one for you, a lunatic. When then, this unforgivable bitch, Tong, walks up with some food. Nah, you bitch, you thought we forgot about what you did on day 14? Nah, bitch, we remember. We always remember. As this rightfully sets Usito off, Tong then has the goal to ask, what's Usito on about? As Usito tries to kick him, Tong then tells Usito he'll whoop his ass. Usito remarks, I'd like to see you try, bitch. As he then hits Tong with a vicious right jab, my god. Suzune remarks how her and Kazuki were worried for nothing, but watching Usito has made Kazuki's blood boil as he heads off back to the castle to train Suzune monologues in her head that even though Usito says he was dragged along, she personally believes there's more to it than that. And that was the wrong way to use healing magic the first 2 chapters anyway. I do hope you enjoyed the video. This manga has over 65 chapters by the time this comes out, or by the time you're watching it, it has over 65. It's been out for a minute. It's been out since 2017. It is, I guess you would say, an earlier isekai, with the kind of different aesthetic instead of just, the copy and paste it was on the train early enough. It wasn't like, the first on the train, but it was like in row 2. Like it was like on the second train. It was still fairly on. Overall, I think I really like it. I like everything about it. The story as it goes on, it's good. Or I guess you say better, because I guess what you guys read ain't really much story. I mean, they're just there, ain't shit happen. So it can only go up. I think the characters are real enjoyable. I think that action scenes that eventually are going to come through are great. The comedy's hilarious. And I think everything about it, it's good. I wouldn't say it's like the greatest thing fucking isekai I've ever fucking read, but I think it's pretty good. It's pretty enjoyable, especially from a genre as just fucking saturated as isekai. You can definitely tell it's not, because it's not as generic or really has like the fundamentals of like the isekai, because it came out rather earlier in the isekai craze. But I mean, I do hope you give it a shot, because I personally enjoy it. What do I typically do at the end of these videos that people watch? I mean, if you made it this far, pat yourself on the back, because most of the people who watch this video, they barely make it 3 minutes in. 2 minutes. It depends on the video and the thumbnail and the content. There's a lot that goes into this. So is there anything else I want to say? Any more ramblings from a lunatic who's currently so fucking sleepy and wants to go to sleep so bad I cannot express to you? Oh my god, I want to go to sleep so bad. Answer's no. Fuck it. I'm gone. Peace.